Hey guys, welcome to my spotlight. As some of you guys might know, I am a younger sibling, as you can see here, and as such, I love stealing things from my older brothers. One of these things is my oldest brother's idea of what someone's pillars of their personality are. These are the things that when they bring it up, you sort of just roll your eyes, because that is so dumb. And these pillars change with time, but the idea is that they should sum up who a person is pretty well for the moment. For a lot of board, you could probably say that apps is one of their pillars. Like, I know it's definitely been one of mine. So I thought for my spotlight, why not go over my other pillars? Starting with school. As you might know, I'm double majoring in psychology and computer engineering, two fields that are mostly unrelated, but I can't help but pursue them both. I'm studying engineering because I value stability. Sure, I enjoy math, and I think coding is a fun way to exercise the brain. But the reason why I came to state as an engineering major was more because I didn't want to worry about my future, not because I had a diehard passion for it. I've grown up hearing that engineers are always wanted, and I took that to mean I'd probably get a job after college. Of course, my choice and type of engineering backfired with AI taking the jobs of entry-level computer engineers, but hey, the thought was there. On the other hand, however, is psychology. Like so many, I'm fascinated by topics in psychology. Things like mental health, which have become so prevalent in today's society, or how our brains develop and later how it can be damaged, and what that might do to a person. These are things I love to understand because they're in so many ways universal to us all. I've always thought that having a deeper understanding of these topics might mean I'd have a better understanding of the people around me, which is why it was a no-brainer to declare a psychology minor when I realized I'd have to take at least two minors to fully fill my class schedule due to my weird freshman year scheduling and the many credits I had coming into state. But I didn't have an interest in any other minor, so I chose to pursue psychology as a second degree instead. So basically, I'm trying to get a psychology degree because when I find a certain topic interesting, I can't help but immerse myself fully into it. Which is a great segue into my next pillar, my current and past hyperfixations, which I'll show a few on screen now. Of course, throughout the years, these have obviously changed a ton. With some, I definitely followed certain pipelines and trends, but with others, I was totally influenced by those around me. For example, basically any book I read from ages 8 to 13, my brothers probably read before me. And like for a lot of TV shows, if it was before middle school, I basically just watched it so I could talk to my friends and classmates about it. I also watched a lot of these early childhood TV shows on YouTube where you had to search up season 1, episode 1, part 1, and they all had like 20 different parts. So don't quiz me on things like Monster High or My Little Pony, because YouTube was missing a lot and I just had to roll with it. Anyways, at any given time, my hyperfixations tend to consist of one video game, one TV show, and maybe one book with some random things popping up here and there. Usually, the obsessive part lasts a few months if I'm being honest, and even if some of these are problematic or kind of dumb when you rewatch or reread them now, they'll always hold a special place in my heart. So I didn't count this as like a hyperfixation. It's more of like a hobby, and currently like my only hobby. The reason why I think this is an integral part of my personality is because of what I did in COVID. As my friends know, when left to my own devices, I tend to turn nocturnal, which is because I genuinely believe I've become way more productive in the early AM, like up until 5 a.m. Anyways, back to the point, during COVID, I was basically allowed to do whatever I wanted, which is apparently baking at 2 a.m. and sleeping by 6 a.m. Looking back, I'm surprised my family let me do this, but on the other hand, they were getting fresh baked goods like every 4 days, and a clean kitchen. So there was a bit of positive reinforcement going on. Nowadays, I sadly can't keep those amazing hours and bake at the times I'd like to, but I still like to find the time to indulge in this hobby. And more recently, I've also started to enjoy cooking. Now, I'm by no means a good cook, but I love when the hard work I put in pays off and I'm able to enjoy a nice meal at the end. To be honest, I think half the reason I enjoy cooking these days is because I was so miserable on meal plan last year. Like, as someone who enjoys vegetables, I was floored at the realization that the only place I regularly get something green other than salad was at UTK or the garden. Anyways, another reason I started to love cooking was because of my friends. Back in high school, my friends and I would gather at my house and cook ourselves dinner. No matter if the food was good or bad, we would end up either talking late into the night or watching a movie. I learned not to be afraid to cook because in those moments, we all had no idea what we were doing, and some of those meals actually turned out good. Which leads us into my final pillar, my friends. Which I'm aware is really dumb to say that part of my personality is my friends, but I think it's something that needs to be acknowledged. Some person online summed it up pretty well, saying, I am a mosaic of everyone I've ever loved. Hopefully, I'll show the Tumblr post where I'm getting this from, but I think it's such an important idea. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the things I fell in love with were because of the people around me. Seeing the joy in their eyes as they talked about the things they loved made it easy for me to love it too. Now, I see the world through the lens of what people in my life have loved, like how I can't listen to music from In the Heights or Beetlejuice without thinking of my old best friend who was always singing songs from those musicals, and how I can't see a Snorlax or Munchlax without thinking about the friends who are practically like sisters to me, just because they used to use them as their username in a game we used to play. Or when I say one of the unique phrases my friends always say, it's the small stuff that affects you every day, even after you stop talking to those people. I don't still talk to all the people in these clips, but that doesn't mean I don't still appreciate what they've done for me. I've been changed in so many ways because of the people I've had the privilege of calling friends. The people you surround yourself with change who you are and who you will become. And I think if I were to tell my younger self anything, it would be to hold close the people who make you feel good about yourself. They're rare, and if you don't show your love for them now, you might miss your chance.